Hello Internet, we're back here in Oxfordshire ready to get this 3x2 garden studio sorted. What we're doing today is installing the walls. First of all, we've got a 4x4 support post on the corner, and then we're just levelling the panels using our bit of battening. So we just put it on the edge, making sure the post is flush with the batten, and we're just going to go in with some knives. We just set that in with some 150s screws, and then we're just going to go all the way up, moving the post in and out just so you're nice and flush there. Pull that post over for us. So we've just gone up there now. We know our panel's square as we've made it down at the workshop. We've got the post on. We'll get the back wall in here, and that'll make that corner nice and square. So we've got our two corner panels in now. One on the back, one on the side. Just keeping the edges nice and flush, ready for our battenings to go on. As we've levelled the base, made the panel square, we know this corner is nice and level both ways, and then we'll just carry on going until we've got the whole building done. So we've got all the panels up now. You see all the corner posts are on, just there supporting all the corners. We go inside here, you just see all the walls are nice and flush there, just to take all the plasterboard so you don't get no lumps. You just come down at the bottom here. You see that the wall panels are just sat along the flush edge of the floor there. We know that that'll make it nice and square all the way round, and then once we get up onto the roof it'll make it easy for us. Right, so we're ready for the roof now. We're using these insulated panels. You can get them from various companies. 80mm thick with a 35mm ridge, making it 115 overall. The roof on our design sits inside the side walls, so what we need to do first is cut a nice straight edge so the panel can sit hard up against the side wall. So we're just here now on the top of the walls, as you can see where the joins are. It's just running all the way. And what we'll add is just a supporting piece that links all the panels together from the back corner, running forward, and then we'll shoot it forward off the front of the building for our overhang. What that does, it just locks all this up. As it's shaking a bit, it just strengthens all the joints, and then it gives us our flush finish for the top of the ply for our roofs to sit on. Right, we've just set our door opening for our French door, 1450. Just follow me around here, we'll just show you the sides. So we're just screwing down each panel down onto the floor system. Just making sure the timber is nice and flush along the edge. Just coming to the corner and then following that round the back there. So the back will depend on the front wall there. Where we pull the front forward, we'll keep the front forward and maybe overhang the back that 5mm, just to give it the squareness that we need. Yep. Right, so we're just here levelling up our front walls now, making sure we've got our opening for our door. What we've got is some bracing pieces. We just level up one side, we get it braced. Just make sure the bottom is the right size for our door opening, with a few mil just to pack it up. So then we come over to our next wall, we'll level it up, and then we're just going to brace. So now we've braced it, we know that that door is going to fit in that gap. Nice and level, both sides. Bottom is the right size, the top will be exactly the same size as its level. So we're just here putting the roof support on now. This is going to connect onto with the front wall, and then the roofs are just going to sit on this. It's going to span the opening of the door. This is two 6x2s screwed together there, and then that gives our thickness of our wall and our batten. We've just got it flush onto the corner, support corner there, and then flush it over on this side. And what we'll do, we'll screw into the side walls, both sides, and then screw up from the front walls into the support. So we're just installing the roofs now, 80mm insulated panels. What we're using to fix it to the side wall are the metal angle brackets. We've tacked it down onto the roof, and then we're just going to go into the side wall just with some 60 screws. We're just going to put a bit of pressure, pull the side wall into the roof just as it tightens up. As you can see there, just a bracket, pulling it all nice and tight, and then we're just going to follow the roof line down and putting them brackets down at every 500. So at this stage of the roof, we're going to insert the cables for our roof lights. We've just cut a little channel out of the foam insulation there, taking out as little material as possible just to keep the integrity of the roof panels. As you can see, that is just a little bit of copper cable bent over, just to make a little clip, just to push into the insulation, hold the cable back. As we're having a flush lighting panel on here, we're not going to have any battens, so there won't be a cavity to run our cables in later. So we need to do this before we continue the rest of the roof. So now we've just taken down the join of our roofing panels. Nice long tech screw at the front going into our roof support. We know that's going to be nice and solid. And then tacked it every 300mm. So strength of these roofs, as you can see, it's not spanning a great deal. I'm over 17 stone, these are not bending. Right, so we've come to the end of the roof now. As you can see, next to the side wall is a ridge. So we don't need to use our metal brackets anymore. We can just go straight through with our long tech screws, straight into the 3x2 that we've put around the ring. Always pulling onto the side walls just to pull that pressure in so you don't push the wall away with the screw, and then you have to tighten it up too much, which can bend the ridge. So we're just come inside now after doing the roof, and we're just going to level this back wall up. Pretty level on there. Just check the level of it. The walls might be a little bit bowed just by the timber, but you're looking for an average level there. And then just knocking it out up onto the roof there, and then we'll go to this up, the next joint. So yeah, all level now, and what we can do is screw the back of the roof down into the side back wall there. So we've just battened out the whole building here, battened out the window opening just to take the cladding around the window. All the battens flush with our corner supports, and then around the front exactly the same. We just opened up where the door's going to sit and then just battened it out. All this is flush with our roof support. That's just going to take our leading edge for our cladding. Right, so on this building we are having a studded wall as well, making a shed compartment. What we've just done here is just put an outer ring of timber just fixed to the walls, floors and roof there. And then we've made some simple frames up just like we did on the exterior walls. Just knock them into position. And then what we'll do, board the inside, board this side, and then we can plasterboard this side, leave this shed area as plyboard, and just paint it up white if that's needed. Right, we're just at the stage of wiring our garden studio. I've done a rough sketch, I apologise. for the Johnny age 5 drawings. So we're going to talk about these sockets first. So we've got the consumer unit, distribution board, fuse box, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to take a 2.5 twin and earth cable from the consumer to our first socket. And then we're going to take one from the consumer unit to our last socket. And then we're just going to join them up. Socket to socket, socket to socket, socket to socket. As you can see, this makes a ring. So that will give you a 32 amp ring inside your studio. Now to the lighting circuit. We've got a little diagram there. We're going to take a power 1.5 twin and earth cable to the light switch. And then we're going to individually feed each light. So we've got our outdoor lights, again 1.5 twin and earth cable. We've got our internal light, 1.5 twin and earth cable. And we've got our roof overhang. These are just a standard decking kit you can get from any DIY shop. Comes with a transformer on it, drops it down to 12 volt. And then the cable wired into the switch. That will go into the 12 volt transformer and then power the hood lights that hang over. Also on this studio we've got a shed partition. So we're going to take a feed cable from the light switch to the light switch. That's from the consumer to the light switch, down to the light switch. This will give this second light switch power. And then again, individually powering each light. We've got a separate outdoor light near the shed area, and then we've also got the internal light for the shed area. Okay, that's the end of day one here. We've made quite a lot of progress. Got the doors in, got a lot cladded. Got the big window on that side tomorrow. Going forward now, tomorrow, big day, push on, get it all completed on the outside here, and then we can get inside and start plasterboarding. Be safe, be kind to each other. Back to you, Patricia.